this is Haedox, and I'm coming at you today with a Q&A because recently we hit 100,000 subscribers on this channel. I guess this is a way, if you wanted to know anything about me, you probably don't, because I'm not that interesting. Well, let's go. I sent out a tweet on Twitter, so I'll be reading them off here. Elaine Christian asks, do you speak with that cadence in real life or only for your videos? In real life, I generally just mumble a lot. So if somebody was going to ask me a question, I'd probably answer like, hey, did you see the baseball game yesterday? I don't watch baseball, I don't really... The Gummy Boy asks, can you show us your hentai collection? Yes. Sprite Grape asks, what made you do videos in the first place? So initially, I started out streaming on Twitch for a while.
Welcome to The Walking Dead Season 2, Episode 5.
I actually played Minecraft a lot back in the day, which was always very fun. Then I moved on to Let's Playing, and I put that on my YouTube channel, but I really started reviewing after I saw IGN's review of Kirby Triple Deluxe. If you've ever read that review, you'll notice that for cons, they put Kirby as being bad because it was too easy. When, personally, I think Kirby's whole charm is that it's simple and really just fun to play. So I got kind of angry at that. I complained to my friends a lot, like, why didn't this man realize the point of Kirby? Why is he making fun of Kirby? And they were like, oh, if you're so mad, why don't you just make reviews for yourself? And I did. And I probably failed at it, because it's great. Dreamcast Guy asks, if you could show your 9-year-old self any game, what would it be and why? I think I'd want to show myself Garfield Kart for the 3DS, just so they would know what they were getting into later on in life, because apparently that's my legacy. If there was one thing you could take away from this channel, I hope it would be Garfield. G. Antoine asks, what is your favorite piece from a video game? That's hard. That's a hard one. I think Baba Yetu from Civilization 4 would be my favorite. That might not count as a piece, but that track is just so beautiful and melodic, I love it so much. Shadow Dragon 23 asks, what are your favorite YouTubers you like watching? I have a lot of those. This is my list of them. I like Red Letter Media, Your Movie Sucks, Matthew Matosis, Alt Shift X, and Hot Diggity Demon. Mr. PokeGamer asks, what is your most embarrassing story? That's a hard one, because as you know, I've never done anything embarrassing in my entire life.
Club Penguin?
Yeah.
Of course I've heard of Club Penguin.
Did you know that it's shutting down?
No, never. Adam asks, what is your favorite cartoon show? I think it would have to be Busty Babe's Video Game Hentai of 2017. Check it out. Dragon Giving asks, are you gay for Spyro the Dragon? Yeah. Blue Blur 720 asks, what editing software do you use? This is another one I get. I use Adobe Premiere. It's kind of costly. I don't really like the monthly membership thing. I wish I could just pay up front or something. But it is pretty good. It's very intuitive, and if you're starting out and really want to get into it, I would recommend that. The Smashter asks, do you feel satisfied with what and where you're going with your channel and content? I don't think I'm ever satisfied with my content. I always think it could be so much more, you know? Whenever I finish a project, I'm always like, oh, I could add a little bit in there, I could add a little bit here that I didn't. I like that people watch it, but I always feel like I could do more. I'm pretty sure that's how any creative content creator feels, that they need to constantly push for originality and more innovation rather than sticking with, like, one generic style and not really expanding or doing anything different. Omega J asks, would you ever make a gaming channel? One. Let's Plays. I hate Let's Plays so much. After doing them for so long, you can... they're not my favorite. Akhlakmaliji asks, how long does it take you to make your videos and how do you come up with your ideas? Generally, videos take me like 1 week to make and I come up with ideas just out of the blue, kinda. I'll be thinking about new stuff constantly and I'll write it down and pick from that sometimes, or if I get an idea, I'll write a script and then just sort of run with making it. Zito339 asks, if the world is ending and you had to save one game, what game would that be? Again, I think I would have to go with Garfield Kart on the 3DS. If the world was ending, I'd want to show God what his creations made. And that is the perfect example. Sean Kutchmer asks, do you plan to branch out your content in other ways? If so, how? I've been debating making another channel about films and art and other shit, but that might happen in the future. Stay tuned if you want. I'm already pretty swamped with keeping this channel active in school and other work. ASL216 asks, what microphone do you use for YouTube and any tips for people who are starting with YouTube? If you're just starting, you don't need an expensive mic or anything. Literally, I started and I did it for like so many years with a blue snowball. That's probably why the audio quality sounded like such shit, but if you're just starting out and want to try to motivate yourself, just get cheap equipment. It doesn't have to be fancy. Right now I use a more expensive mic because after so much time with the blue snowball, I felt like I needed to improve my audio quality. But if you're just starting out, just get cheap equipment, start doing it, and get yourself in the habit of just putting ideas out there and trying to put your ideas into some video format. In my opinion, the best advice I could give you for YouTube is just to stick with it and just do whatever you want. Ultimately, you can't worry about how people might receive it, or you can't worry about if it's good or if it's bad. People will tell you if it's bad, and if they tell you it's bad, then you've got to take their criticism and just try to improve. Why is your name Haedox? This is an interesting story. See, when my grandpa was dying in his bedroom, he took me aside and he said, hey, and then he died. No, in all seriousness, my friend and I were on a bus trying to think of screen names for CSGO, and he thought of the name Haedox, and I was like, that's a cool name. Somebody with a name I don't want to try to pronounce because I will fail at it asks, what is the video game that got you into video games? Pokemon Silver, that was the first thing I ever played. I remember I used to hide it in my backpack and go to the bathroom to play it whenever I wanted in elementary school. I'd always excuse myself and tuck it in my pants and play away. Near Milk asks, did you ever consider pursuing stripping as a career? John Cop 7 asks, when are you going to come out of the closet and give us a new game hypothesis video? Are those two questions? To the first one, to the second one, probably soon. Ceaseless Agony asks, if you had to be one Skylander, which would it be? I'd want to be the one that attacks me. There's this video called Skylanders versus Haedox that you all need to see. And the first one that attacks me, I get trapped inside one of them. I want to be that one.
Yeah.
And that's about all the Q&A stuff. If your question didn't get answered, you'll have to wait for like another 100,000 subscribers because I'm not doing this stuff a lot. Unless people really want to know more about me, which I doubt they do. If you learned anything about myself or want to ask more questions that will be answered in like a year, leave them below. Or if you want, just leave them in the comments and I'll try to answer as much as I can that, if you want. Ask me anything you desire, anything is personal, I don't really care. My life's an open book. Open book. Again, I wanted to say thank you for 100,000 subscribers. I know it's redundant at this point. I don't want to keep getting too gushy or anything because sometimes when YouTubers get too gushy it can come across as disingenuous, but in all honesty, this channel and the opportunity, you as a viewer for watching, liking, commenting, and all that jazz, it gives me a reason to go on about my day. It gives me a reason to want to continue in a sense. My life's generally boring when it comes to everything else, I go to school, I go to work, and I go to work. Sometimes I work on the farm in the summer, but at the end of the day I know I have this creative opportunity that you've all really supported me with, and I'm very, very, very thankful for that. As always, thank you so much for watching, and take care. Have a wonderful day, and goodbye.